Welcome to Disaster Party Podcast. As always, this is Rob Cedeno, joined by my co-host.
Oh, whoa, daddy, it's your boy Andy Bivians. That's Bivans, the one true whoa daddy of Bivians INC. I'm on point tonight. Listen, I kind of want a slushie from 7-Eleven. Because tonight, we on episode 27, whoa daddy.
Oh, you said 7-7.
7-Eleven.
7-11-27, so you said 7 twice.
I did say 7 twice. I did.
Oh.
All right. So, whoa, daddy, we about to take him to heaven because tonight we're on episode 27. Oh, whoa, daddy.
Okay. There you go. That was better. I think that was good.
Boom.
I think
Audible.
that was good. Awesome. So, Andy, before we jump into the topic for tonight,
Ooh.
I hope everyone heard our news segment, yesterday's episode, from when you are downloading, listening to this. It was a pretty interesting conversation. I enjoyed it.
Very interesting.
We touched on a bunch of little things, deep dive maybe on a little anime,
Ooh.
and we had some MLB talk with maybe where you should be investing your money.
Oh.
I think you should go listen back to that news segment to really find out what we're talking about. And
check it out.
And why am I so tired?
Bruh, why are you so tired?
Man, if you listen to the news, the news episode, you know exactly why I'm so tired. So, Andy, what's today's topic on our weekly podcast that we talk about one specific topic? Whether it's reviewing movies or TV or just talking about things in general, we do this every week. So the topic of the week is...
Tonight, we are deep diving into goals. Setting goals, making goals, defining goals, dreams, defining legacies, and all that. I'm excited. Found some new stuff. It's kind of opened my eyes to even more stuff. So I think tonight's gonna be fun. And I already know Rob's mindset and where he is with goals and dreams and planning for the future and holding whoa daddy. So this is gonna be very interesting. I'm actually very excited to see his take on a couple things.
Okay. All right. So jump on into it, Andy.
All right, let's do it. So then, actually, let me start with this. What is your overall definition of, like, a dream?
Well, you can go in the literal sense of saying that when someone is asleep, they dream.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there.
Uh-huh.
I see what you did there. But say you're awake.
Okay. I would say it's something that you constantly, I guess, daydream about, that you kind of almost wish was your reality.
Okay. I get that. I can see that. So, I've been currently reading this book right here. 9 to 5 Millionaire by Jamal King. It's an awesome book. If you haven't read it or haven't heard anything about him, it's awesome. You should check him out. He's pretty much a real estate investor. He created a whole program called Make Real Estate Real and put out his own book kind of like explaining his life, and he deep dives into a lot of different things. And here he kind of states that, like, when you ask somebody what their dream is, right? So I'm going to use the same example he did. He was like, say you're like a police officer.
So you're telling me that was a test?
That was a test.
Ah.
You passed, though. You passed.
Okay,
you
good.
were right.
Okay.
Just say you're a police officer, right? And you go up to a police officer, and I ask you, like, what's your goal? Like, what's your dream? And they're like, I just want to become captain. And Jamal says that's a normal answer, but when you look at it, that's just the next step. And then once you get there, your body, so I actually highlighted it because It says having a dream that's larger than yourself is to ensure that you don't get comfortable at any of these levels. As humans, we're wired to stop wherever we set the finish line. So track coaches emphasize running through the line because you'll get the best outcome by pushing beyond what everyone else considers the finish. So like for
That
my
makes so much sense.
right? So like for myself, like I mean, granted, I've had a lot of stuff happen, but like with wrestling, like I've always wanted to be a wrestler since I was a kid. Anybody ask me, it's like, oh, what do you want to do? I want to be a pro wrestler. All right, cool. I got to wrestling. I'm doing amazing things, but then I kind of just stopped there. And then once I read that, it's just like, all right, your goal is big, but you never made it bigger than yourself. Like your goal is supposed to pretty much change your entire lifestyle and light you on fire.
Okay, so let me go into the mind of Rob, I guess you could say. Man, how do I even explain this? So, like you just said, like you define a dream, right? And then if you don't define it specifically, it will only reach to a certain point. Like you said, I want to wrestle, but you didn't say like I want to wrestle for AEW or I want to be a WWE superstar. Like, is that what you're kind of saying?
Pretty much. Even bigger than that, actually.
Or like The Rock or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
all that. For me, I weirdly never dream super big,
Okay.
if that makes sense. And let me
Okay.
try to explain how that makes sense, okay? So, when you're dreaming big, you're basically going from here, from like A,
Yep.
and then your dream is like Z,
Yep.
right?
Vision.
Okay, yes. But the way that my mind works is that instead of dreaming Z, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know what Z is. I could maybe imagine what I think it might be, but I don't really know what it is,
Okay.
right? But my mind is always thinking like A, C, D, E.
Okay.
And then, like, as I get to C, then it goes from C, D, E, and then it goes to F.
Okay.
So, like, I'm always like 3 letters ahead instead of A to Z. So basically, as like something is done on A, I'm now envisioning like the next few steps, and every time I hit the first of the 3 steps, I then shoot up a step.
Okay.
Does that
Okay.
kind of make sense?
That makes
So
sense.
it's like a slower goal setting from A to Z because I'm taking it in steps instead of just doing a leap. So that's why when I say I don't dream too big, it's because I never want to like have a dream so big that I don't know how to get there. So I always dream smaller of like, okay, if I do this, this is going to be the next step. And then if that goes well, then this and this. So then I don't think past a certain point. So I'm never bigger than what I could foreseeable, like I could foresee in the current.
So I have 2 questions on that because
Okay.
I think this is the first time I've actually heard someone say that. So,
Okay.
which question do I want to ask first?
I don't know.
So, okay. So I learned about how you can use like you have one overall dream, right?
Okay.
And then you have different vehicles that you can use to get to said overall dream.
Okay.
Are your A, D, E, F going towards one specific dream? Or is it kind of like, how can I put it? Like you have like multiple cars and you're going from A to D and then you get out, right? And then you hop in your next car and you go from D to F.
No, think of it more like a staircase.
Okay.
But so here's an example. Here's an example of 1, 2, 3. Okay. I want to take some of my investment profits after it hits a certain point. Okay. So that's the first goal. Is when it hits to a certain point, then I want to take money from it, right?
Okay.
Second goal is take that money and then buy property with it. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm not even at the first point yet, but I'm thinking that point and the next point. And then I go from buying rental properties, then that will basically give me more income, flexible income, to then invest into blank or have more time for blank. And then that's where it stops.
Okay. Okay.
So you see, step one has to happen first, step two has to happen next, and then step three has to happen. And then once I get to step two, then the goals are going to change because I've already hit the first one.
Yeah.
So then that one gets erased, like I was saying.
Okay.
So then I will go from rent property to the next goal to a goal that I don't even know exists yet because it might change as I go from goal to goal.
Okay.
Do you see it? Does that now make more sense?
No, that makes a ton of sense, and it actually leads me to my second, not even question, but a statement. Most people reverse engineer their goals. So they start with like one giant goal and then they break it down backwards to see where they can go so they know where to start. You literally just engineered straight ahead
Yeah.
instead of reverse engineered.
And the crazy thing is, I can literally go back 5 years from now, from like five years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I can remember telling myself, I want to do this, 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 and literally every single one, it's kind of like this. And I think the reason why I go small to big, like you just
Uh-huh.
said, is because I don't necessarily have such a. I guess I'm more flexible. You know what I'm saying? I let my life decisions determine where my end goal will be.
Okay, that's very interesting.
So it's like, but it's like to me, if I were to say I want to be a trillionaire, right? I'm just making
Mm-hmm.
up, and that's my goal for the whole my whole life, and I don't get there. Then I lived my whole life trying to obtain something that I never obtained. So am I truly going to be happy with whatever is the whatever is the closest thing you got to that achievement?
Okay. That's a great perspective, actually.
So by me going, okay, I know that when I die and leave this earth, right? I
Mm-hmm.
know that I want to be able to say I was happy, I enjoyed life, I was successful enough, had a family, blah blah blah. Everything else is like what's going to be that end journey?
Yeah.
As long as I get those things, and you see how generic those things are. It's like as
Yeah.
soon as I have those things, everything it's just you know what I'm saying? It's almost
What's
automatic.
that? Yeah.
And then I just don't know how I'm going to get to that point.
Okay, okay. So see, for me, it's been a little different. So reading that and seeing like what that end goal is. Like, I would love to be a millionaire, multimillionaire, right? So then I think of it as different vehicles. What vehicles can get me to multimillionaire? Well, I also want to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Being in WWE Hall of Fame, being that not superstar but that marquee guy, gets money in my pocket, gets money in the bank, which is the vehicle that can help me to either build more investments or purchase property and build more real estate. So I'm still working toward that millionaire goal, but I'm using different vehicles to get there.
Okay.
So like even if I don't hit so it's like easiest way to put it, I know Guap will like this one. Think of a video game. Okay?
Okay.
You got your main mission, right? You're Batman.
Yeah.
Your main mission is to take out Joker because he's taken over Arkham City, right? But then all of a sudden, you got Bane, you got Scarecrow, you got Catwoman, Harley Quinn, Riddler, Deathstroke. You have 6 now side quests that you also have to do to be able to get through. That'll help you build that experience points or help you build that knowledge and that skill level, so that way you can go on to face the Bane Joker at the end of the game, that final boss. And that final boss is your end goal, your overall goal. But in order to get to that overall goal, you got to defeat Harley Quinn first, so that way you can level up to level 5. Then defeat Riddler, so that way you can level up to level 10. Then defeat Bane, so that way you can level up to level... You see what I mean? And just keep climbing, but in essence, you're still fighting towards that last level.
Yeah. But then here's my question, though.
Mm-hmm.
Is what if for some reason you cannot defeat all the enemies?
Then you realize that whatever vehicle that you were in, or whatever enemy that you came across that you can't defeat, you take that failure or that learning experience and try it again in a different way. Perfect example. Arkham Knight, I think it was, where you're driving the Batmobile. I played that game for 3.5 months. You can go back to the video game. I think it was actually longer than that. You can go back to the video game episode, the top 10 episode, and hear my frustration on how long it took me to beat this fucking Riddler car challenge, right? So it's racing. And every time I kept crashing into a wall. But as you're doing it over and over and over again, you start to learn new combinations to use to get around certain obstacles. You start learning new ways to get either above or through obstacles. That eventually, if you keep at it, you're going to win the battle. And once you win that battle, it's the greatest fucking feeling ever.
Okay.
So kind of the same concept, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's cool that you engineer and then go with it.
Well, that's because like I said, the end goal is so generic.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, let's just say, okay, here's an example. Let's just say, me saying that I lived a happy life, right?
Uh-huh.
Me, like, okay, so let's just say my end goal was to just live a happy life. That picture of a happy life could be a simple life. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, it that happiness in life doesn't mean I need to be in a mansion.
Facts.
The happiness in life could mean that I live in a house or a room in a house that I don't even have I'm renting.
Facts.
So it's like, I think that's why it goes the way it goes, because it's so generic.
Okay.
And it's more like, again, the goals kind of happen, and however life takes me to get to that, because okay, now I'm going to get like all like space here.
Let's do it.
You know that like one thing, one person, one random swipe on your phone, and you run into an article and you're like, what is this? Ends up going into like it just changes your life completely.
This book.
No, but I'm saying, like, think about it in like crypto wise, right?
Okay.
It could, like, my life, okay, your life could have just been like, one day I just never went past an article on my phone, saw Bitcoin, and then started researching it. What if I put my phone away like 4 seconds earlier?
Okay.
Then I wouldn't have never found that.
True.
So then the whole me having that goal of getting a certain amount of, let's just say, Bitcoin would have never been a goal.
Because you would have never researched Bitcoin.
Accidentally.
True.
And then again, by going into Bitcoin is when I learned how to start investing. That became a new goal.
Okay.
And then investing is what now investing allowed me to get into I'm doing well. Now I can go think about hitting an investment goal to then go to my original goals, like I said, to then buy a property and then rent it out and see. But do you see how, like, one decision, like just scrolling on my phone,
Yeah,
changed the goals for me? So that's how I roll. It's like, I don't know how life is going to randomly put me in another direction that I'm like, ooh, this is fun.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, again, if I did not swipe on my phone to see that article, I would have never even known about it, and then that wouldn't have never been a goal, ever.
That's true. But do you think that like
So like I don't really have these like super like I want to do X. Like again, like if I was like I'm gonna be an MLB player, I'm gonna be an MLB player, I'm gonna be an MLB player, and like I don't know how to get there. At least if I'm just like okay, I just want to be happy. It just kind of
that's fair.
yeah.
That's fair. But if you wanted to be an MLB player, like if that
Then
was
my
like,
goals would have been
your
completely
true
different.
desire, you would find a way to engineer it to
And I
get
agree with that.
to get there.
But again, that would be where the engineered decisions go.
Yeah.
Do you think kind of like cool?
Do you think subconsciously, because like I know you're an entrepreneur at heart, do you think subconsciously the reason why you clicked that article was because you're an entrepreneur at heart and you knew that somehow, some way, this might be something that could help you long term?
Yeah, I feel like I would have probably clicked on it more likely, but then again, you can go back even further, bro, to all the decisions that you've made.
Yeah.
And how you can reverse back to all the goals that you set in your mind. That is just the continuation of what's going on in your life.
That's true. Well, they're all trying to get you somewhere.
But that's what I'm saying. That's how my mind thinks. Like I don't ever set too far out because I just want to take the steps
to get there.
So it almost gives you more flexibility.
I feel that. I think.
Right,
See,
I'm like, so, it's interesting that we have such a different
but same perspective. If that makes any sense. Like, so for you, it's like you're kind of just going and you're setting one goal after another after another.
But I'm like, because it's like the way that life flows. One day can, like I said, steer me in a completely different direction. But now think about this. If it steered me in a different direction, then let's just say I said I wanted to be an MLB player, right?
Okay.
If I wasn't as flexible, I would have been like, nah, I'm too focused on this. So then that opportunity would have never even came.
That's true.
So that in the sense of I'm flexible with goals is because to me, if one door closes, one door opens kind of thing.
Facts.
So I'm not too stuck on one thing. It's just whatever is the next fun thing.
See, I agree with you 1,000%. But for me, I think I've always had the mentality of like, I want to have 5 doors to open or 5 doors that are open. So if one door closes on me, I have 4 more left to choose from.
Yeah, I feel that.
But I think that's hindered me also because I've never had that burning drive to get somewhere. You know what I mean? Like recently, I've just been like kind of going with the flow, so to speak. Like there's nothing that like set my soul on fire or nothing like I was very passionate about or like when you talk about your why, like I had a why, but it wasn't important enough for me to get up and chase it. You know what I mean? And then once like I started looking at it at like a bigger long-term scale, I'm like, oh, okay. Like I always knew like it existed, but I never knew it existed for me. And once you make that switch in your brain, then it's just like, oh, okay, I can have this. What did they say? Exposure. Exposure changes everything in life.
Yep.
Because if you only see certain things, that's all you think life is. Yep. Like you don't think you can get to like this other spot. But then once you're exposed to new and different things, then you're just like, ooh, something opened in my brain. I can get here, just like Bitcoin, just like crypto. Like you saw the article, you started reading it, you started talking about it, you created a group chat, we all started talking about it. I learned crypto. I want to get out of the situation that I'm currently in. So I'm pushing. I start learning crypto. Then all of a sudden, crypto's starting to get me out of the situation I'm in, getting me to a different spot. And now thinking even long-term hold, now it's just like, ooh, now I'm more strategic with like where I get my crypto, what I do with crypto, if I want to pump and dump, if I want to put more focus on this. Because I'm using it as a specific vehicle to get me to another spot. So it's crazy how we're both on the same that same perspective, but in literally two different vehicles.
It's like almost we're going backwards. That's all.
Yeah, like
You're going forward.
you're
I'm going back.
we're doing the Fast and the Furious. Like I'm driving in reverse and you're driving forward.
Yeah.
We're like, let's go.
Yeah, it's interesting to it's I like thinking about that stuff. Just kind of like I could literally trace back each goal because I remember again when you set something like that, you remember it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like when you were, let's just say, I don't know. For me, like I knew at like 15, 16, I'm gonna be a dad. I'm gonna be a dad. Again, that's a goal.
Yeah.
You know, and then that happened. So now my goal has changed.
Yep.
I'm a dad, but now I want to be an awesome dad, or I want to be a dad to two kids. You know what I'm saying? Like the next
Facts.
goal. So
Facts.
yeah, I don't know.
I hear that. I mean, me, like, I always want to build a family, you know?
Yeah,
And I've always wanted what I called BG Manor. I want to have the Bruce Wayne house where, like, I have my own cave and, like, my own gym and, like, and stuff like that. And, like, just writing it down and seeing it,
yeah,
I got something to push towards, you know? Something to leave a legacy to, so to speak, for my future family. And then when I hit that, then, like you said, wherever it takes me from there, it takes me.
that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like I could, I don't know. I can keep going, but yeah, exactly, bro.
It's dope. So do you ever think of like I want X amount of money, so like you work towards having that, or
So
like you ever think of like I want to live in this specific place?
yes, but not too specific. Like to
Okay.
me, okay, ready? Here, this is how, like how my brain works. Okay, a goal is I want to get a different house with more property and more opportunity to do like a garden and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay, so see how general.
Okay.
So again, like now it's just like okay, if an opportunity comes then it's there. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Okay. But is it kind of like the Tony Robbins theory, like you ask and dream for more money, so you get 50 cents? So
Oh,
you
in
got your
that
dream.
sense, okay. So in that sense, I never think dollar amount.
Well, no, I mean even in property
No, no,
alone.
no. In the sense of like, if let's just say that I was like, okay, I want enough money to pay all my bills.
Okay.
Again, I'm not like I need 3,000 a month because my bills can change.
Yeah.
You know, so it's weird. It's like I know what I want, but it's not as specific.
Okay. See, I never thought about that.
Because again, everything is so flexible. Like nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is like as 100% as things people think they are.
Yeah. Like I've always just been like, all right, I want more money. Like I want to be financially free.
Yeah.
All right, well, what's financially free?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I want my bills covered. All right, your bills are covered.
And then you
But
set
are
the
you
next
still
goal.
financially free? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you like never know where that cap. Like I never knew where that cap was. So like I kept trying to figure it out, trying to keep thinking.
Do you want to know how I do it?
How so?
Okay, so I keep track of all my investments and how much I make each week and interest and dividends stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
At the end of each week when I look at how much I made on that, I go, okay, I just what I say, okay, I just worked 20 hours last week at $15 an hour. Meaning like
Mm.
I made enough money this week in investments that would have covered 20 hours at a job at $15 an hour. So then in my
Okay.
mind that goes, okay, I'm halfway through a week.
Okay.
So if I get to a certain point, it's like, okay, I can work one less week a month.
Okay.
So I can go. I'm only gonna work three weeks a month.
Because you know one's already covered.
Yeah, and then the next goal is to okay, now that I got to week one, now I'm gonna go to week two. Then I'm gonna go to week three. Then I'm gonna go to week four. So it's like not too. It's not like so specific.
Okay. So now for you, is it just only one other stream of income that you
Oh no,
want?
it's everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like So like you want to get property, you said, right? Is
Yeah.
there
So
like a
then,
certain amount or
nope.
no?
Because I want to see how the first one goes. Because who knows, I might get to the first one and then hate it. So I'm like so flexible that I get to a certain place, see how comfortable I am, and then depending on where that comfortability level is, then it changes.
Okay.
So like let's just say the goal is first to get one property.
Uh-huh.
And who knows, then all of a sudden I do it and I'm getting comfortable in it and I'm like, okay, and then I get a bad tenant who is the worst, who doesn't pay the bills, and then I'm like, I fucking hate this. I'm not going to
Fair
another
enough.
property.
Fair enough.
So it's almost like I take one stage at a time. I don't
Okay.
want to think too far ahead because that might change and then I'll get my hopes up.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Right?
So interesting.
I don't know, man. But again, I have a general idea of what the goal is, and then I just define it as I go forward.
Yeah.
Because who knows, dude? Literally, you don't know. And I'm getting so like weird with this stuff right now, but you don't know where you're going to be on your deathbed.
Oh,
Today,
100%.
like legitimately today, whatever May 10th, 2021, 33-year-old Rob could end up being friggin' a Mars, one of the first people on Mars.
You taking a Tesla ride?
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how the next 10 years can go.
That's true.
So it's like, I don't know where I'm going to end up by the time I'm dead. I could be a completely different person I am right now.
Oh, 100. Well, hopefully.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll be this cool when I'm 89.
Well, of course that'll stay. But there's still growth.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? So I don't like to go too far because you don't know where that. Because again, let's just say for you, you get to WWE, Hall of Famer. Then what?
I hit that goal.
Okay, but then what's the next goal? See, if you go too far.
But the bigger goal is to be a millionaire and to have my BG Manor with my
Okay.
cave. So hitting Hall of Fame status is one goal and one
Okay.
vehicle
Okay.
to cement my name in wrestling
Okay.
and also get me to my manor
Okay.
by saving, by investing what I make, you know.
Okay. Okay.
So it's using that vehicle to get me to the overall goal, so to speak. And pretty much, I guess what this all lays out to is like the one question you asked me in Miami, like, when I die, will my family be set?
Yeah.
And by that point, and different streams of income and that status, my family won't have to worry about anything.
I figured it out.
What's that?
The difference of us in here, in our heads, is the difference between short term and long term.
Okay.
I am literally short, 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 short. You're like short, long, short, long, short, long, long, long.
Yes.
That makes more sense.
That's still weird to me though.
I mean,
Because you're all about long term and like long term holding and like
well,
like
that's yeah.
thinking
That's
of
it. Depends on the target,
yeah.
on what each specific thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's I mean both sides are still dope. Like you're still either way you're still going towards that end goal.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But like these are things like I haven't thought of like last year. Like last year my mind was horrible, but last year my mind wasn't here. Like last year my mind wasn't thinking like 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road.
That's when mine was because that's when I was like, ooh, investing.
Yeah. Like I was getting into investing and I'm just like, ooh, all right, I can get out of this situation. And then now instead of like completely getting out of one situation, I can stay in one situation and get in the second situation and use the first situation to fuel the second situation until the second situation's running by itself. To then jump in a third situation, and if I want to leave the first situation, I can, because the second one runs on its own.
Yeah,
And then just keep repeating the process. But yeah, I wouldn't have thought about this a couple years ago.
But that's the best thing about life.
Facts.
It's always changing.
Facts. Years ago, I'm like, I want to party and I want to make millions, and that's all I know. I want to be famous. Now I still want to party and make millions and be famous, but I also want to do X, Y, and Z to help X, Y, and Z.
I feel you.
Huh.
I feel you.
I had another question. So for you, since you live kind of like day to day and kind of like wherever life takes you, what was the question? Do you think that you try to expose yourself to new things to kind of like get you to there, or yeah?
That's how the whole thing works, man.
Yeah.
Everything is the exposure, and then I end up going and furthering my short terms.
But do you do it on purpose, or do you do it like?
Oh, I do it on purpose now.
Okay.
But again, I didn't before.
So I know you were saying with Bitcoin, like you accidentally found that link and you clicked on it and you followed it, and now look where we are.
Yeah.
So then, what other exposures do you chase after or sought after?
Well, I listen to podcasts and other podcasts and videos, and I read and stuff like that, which is giving me different exposures. I'm trying to read up to the current things in the markets and seeing how things are going like that. So I actually add more exposures now.
Okay. Yeah, I just started on another podcast, which literally the woman bought a giant acre of land and then built her whole community.
Okay.
Not like just a house. She built an entire town and owns the entire town. And yeah. Yeah. Like learning about new zoning laws, learning about new permits, learning about different things that you have to get because you're building a new town, trying to create a mayor, trying to create a town hall for it. Like, I didn't think somebody can build their own town, but apparently it's possible.
Okay. Interesting.
But, yeah. Just opens up your mind. Like, I'm very happy I started reading this book because, like, my mind's thinking differently now to the point of, like, I'm excited to do things again. I'm excited to try new avenues or try to, like, kind of expose myself to different things, you know?
Okay. Yeah. I do know.
Word.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. We're definitely in different spots, but we could tell that we understand each other.
Facts.
Yeah.
Like, we're in different spots still working almost towards the same thing.
Yeah, just backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll drive Fast and Furious with you. It's cool.
Let's go.
Andy just showing off driving backwards.
No, my
Damn
goodness.
right.
But that's awesome. I'm glad you're liking this book because it's like, again, just trying to explain how my mind works is now interesting to me, the way that it's working. So I want to kind of almost see if I could change it.
But do you want to, though?
I might.
Because, like,
I don't know. But the fact that I know that that's how I think now, because I actually thought about it, maybe I could change it and like spread it out and be like short, long kind of thing. You know?
You know what's funny? If you go long term, I'm scared.
Oh, that's
Here's why.
exactly, dude.
Here's why.
This is why.
You have short-term things, but you hit every single short-term thing you set your mind to.
Yeah.
If you set your mind to something that's long-term, A, it's going to be huge. So it's going to be a big thing that you're going to have to kind of progress to. B, I know you're going to hit it because you already hit the short. And literally the long term is just breaking it down into short.
It's just in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's dangerous because you can do anything.
Yeah, dude, it's bad because Taylor is like, she says all the time, she's like, if you say something, it happens.
Facts.
And I'm like, I don't know.
Facts.
Because I think maybe because I obsess with it.
But you almost have to.
Yeah, so I obsess with it so much, then I get to the next goal. And then I obsess until it gets, and then I obsess, and then I obsess, and then I obsess.
Look, when you first started Bitcoin, you had a goal. You hit it.
I smashed it.
Now you're working on another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly my point. You hit long-term goal, forget about it. Like, you hit one goal, or you set one giant goal.
Yeah, be happy by the time I die.
Facts. Well, you're already gonna be happy.
That's what I'm saying. It's such an easy
You're
goal.
already there.
It's such an easy goal.
Facts. But yeah,
Yeah, man. It's weird.
that's crazy. I have to work on short
Got to do the shorts in order to get the
to
long. I
get
guess.
to long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Short, long. Short,
Yeah.
long.
But now that I have long defined, I can break it down. Short.
Yeah.
Overall long.
Yeah. Because imagine if you were like, okay, the end goal is WWE, right? But then you have to, let's just say, you don't know that the next level down is signing with another company for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know that yet.
Yeah.
So that's why I work up and flow. Because I know I'm going to get to, let's just say, WWE. But I let everything else flow so I'm not so focused and so unflexible, because sometimes you need to be flexible in order to get to that.
True.
Because some people could be like, I want to get in WWE. And then it's like, all they think is training. And I just need to train. That's my goal. I just need to train. WWE's going to notice me. I just need to train. I just need to train. But people are like, oh, no, we'll sign you. No, I just need to train. Just WWE. I just need to train. Just WWE. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if that's your goal, like...
But then your goal is WWE. It's not training.
True.
And you obsess so much with WWE that you almost lose sight of other opportunities that can help get you there.
Well, your goal is WWE, but the short is training.
But you took the wrong boat to the WWE. You took like the long journey.
In essence.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of how, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I was like, okay, I'm going to invest all my money in gold.
And you're only stuck on gold.
And I'm only stuck in gold. Yeah, I might get to my end goal of, let's just say, $1 million. It just might take me a lot longer than if I were to say, you know what I'm saying? Like, instead of I were to be flexible and someone's like, yo, I'm making $1 million in 2 years in crypto. Then I'd be like, okay, well, I'm still going to get to that million, but I'm just going to move my boat.
You're getting another vehicle.
Yeah.
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 And then you're using that vehicle. You get to your end goal.
But I don't get too stuck on one vehicle.
That's fair.
I think that makes more sense.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's why, like, the end goal has to be huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got to be bigger than overall. Because, like, so I want to help homeless. Like, I've always said I wanted to create a place where, like, I want to almost create, I'm afraid to say it because someone will probably come up with it, but whatever. Like a homeless rehabilitation program to where, like, it's kind of like a shelter where they have, like, a bed, a place to stay, food to eat, but they're working to be able to gain money so they can kind of rehab and go back out into society and be able to get their own place and kind of function in society.
So like a halfway home, but for the homeless.
Yeah. Because, like, you see so many people right now that are, like, sleeping on cardboards out in the city and, like, sleeping on the hard ground, and it's raining and it's snowing, and, like, they want to go to a shelter, but the shelter's super dangerous or, like, won't take them. So, like, they go to a place, but they kind of don't help them get back into society, so to speak. So, like, I want to build a place where, like, they can work, but they can also, like, almost like school, but not like school. Like, you want to learn this? All right, we have this. You want to learn this? All right, we have this. You want to learn this trade? Like, this will help you get back. You know what I mean? And just kind of help people get, like, their lives back that feel like they don't have it anymore, so to speak. So, that's also another end goal. And the vehicles that I have along the way could help me to build that end goal. Well, not end goal. I should call it a side quest. So then if I choose to do that side quest, I can use one of the vehicles to help build that side quest. So let's talk stocks. Say one of our stocks hits huge, right? And I'm still investing. I'm gaining, building. I can use one of those stocks as my vehicle or extra stream of income to be able to fuel and build the rehabilitation program, while I still have the other assets building towards millionaire status, building towards my manor, so to speak.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like different vehicles moving at the same time, but all moving in reverse, so to speak.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm down with it.
Facts.
All right, is there anything else you want to touch on?
I think we hit it all.
I think we went deep and then not deep and then deep and then
Yeah. We went pretty deep.
Yeah, sorry, but I mean that's just the way that conversation went.
I love it though, cause like
No, it was good.
Maybe it helps somebody who didn't think like that way.
Yeah,
like maybe there's people who work the same way as you, but never really realized it.
That's what I just
or
realized.
work the same way as me. Exactly, and like your way actually helps me because it helps me realize like, all right, I need to do short, but short also goes to my long. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the same sense, if I get this avenue, all right, U-turn, here we go.
That's what I'm saying. It's flexibility.
Detour.
Yeah, detours.
Facts.
Could you know? Because they always show like what that picture. It's like what people reality is like someone here, and then the end goal is just a straight line. But in reality, it's like up, down, left, right, down, left, all that stuff, and then it's like cool.
Facts.
So, yeah.
Facts. I love it.
All right then. We'll cut it here then.
Let's do it.
All right, so guys, as always, go back to our news and go check that out. As always, though, like, share, follow, rate, review, comment, and subscribe to all of our social media platforms. That is Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and the YouTube to see our handsome faces. This is Rob Cedeno.
This is Andy Bivians.
And we are a go-go. Bye-bye. Peace.